Let's start the show.
Hello, hello. It is that time again. Welcome to another episode of the Happy Hour Show with Lindsey Vertner. I am your host, Lindsey Vertner. I am a peak potential strategist and transformational speaker. I teach millennial moms and startup entrepreneurs how to master their mindset and balance their lives through self-care, self-worth, and self-discipline. And today I'm super excited because I have the lady extraordinaire with me, Miss Lillie Mae. And when I tell you she is amazing, she is amazing. I've been to her events. I follow her on all her social media. It's going to be awesome, okay? So Miss Lillie Mae is a public relations strategist and the creator of the Glambitious brand. She has dedicated her efforts to empowering and recognizing and supporting entrepreneurs of all facets of life all around the country. I mean, from the U.S. all the way to London and Nigeria and all in between, honey. She's created a hub called www.theglamceo.com, which specifically for entrepreneurs to secure exposure opportunities and educational tools that will help them accomplish their dreams. She's been seen on Netflix. She's been seen on Black Enterprise, Huffington Post, TMZ, and many, many more. So welcome, 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 Miss Lillie Mae.
Hello. Thank you for that grand introduction.
I do what I can, honey. So how are you? I'm so glad that you could find it in your busy schedule, I'm sure, to come and chat with us here at the Happy Hour Show.
Oh, absolutely. I'm doing great, adjusting to quarantine life. I'm usually kind of a social butterfly. So that part of life has slowed down, which gives me more time to, really get into my purpose and glambitious and all of those things. So I'm happy to chat with you.
Nice. So I just gave you that rundown of your intro, like kind of the stats and everything. But if I were to say, who is Lillie Mae, like the real deal, who is she? How would you answer that?
Lillie Mae is a multifaceted personality, ambitious and all of those things. So I'm truly, I guess, a passion for, helping people thrive in their purpose. So it's like my purpose is directly aligned with helping people thrive in their purpose, specifically women. I have a passion for helping women achieve their goals and achieve financial independence through entrepreneurship. So, that's who Lillie Mae is, just a multifaceted person operating a purpose.
Nice. So tell us about your background. Like, where did you come from as far as like your beginnings? Like, how did you grow up?
Sure. Yeah, I grew up in a very small town, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, really in an underserved community, a very severely underserved community. It was actually deemed by ABC News as one of the top 25 most dangerous neighborhoods in America. So that's the type of place that I grew up in. And I ended up going to college at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. So I'm a Tar Heel like Michael Jordan and Vince Carter and so many other amazing people. And after college, I relocated to Atlanta. And that's where I kind of got the entrepreneurial bug in Atlanta. And Atlanta ended up being, one of the best moves of my life because I was able to birth my business there, birth multiple businesses there actually, and just, connect with so many people and really thrive in my purpose. So that's kind of the long story short of how I got to where I am now.
Nice. So that had to have been something to grow up in a literally where they dubbed it a dangerous neighborhood. So I know that there are a lot of times people are like, oh, well, I come from this and I don't come from money and I don't know these people. So I can't make it. So what would you say to people like that?
Yeah, I think wherever you come from, whoever you are, whoever your parents are, none of that matters as it relates to your potential. It only matters in the sense of usually you can birth some purpose from those pains. But as far as it like, preventing you from succeeding in life or preventing you from making it, that, I don't believe that to be the case. As long as you have a strong relationship with God and, you are really seeking to find out and discover what your purpose is through God, and what he has you here for, like the sky is the limit for anyone. I mean, I think about when I was a kid, like we would hear gunshots outside, we rode the city bus, like everything that people deem as like a poverty or a poor upbringing. I experienced all of those things. And it's like, still, with God being who I'm aligned with, my potential has surpassed anything I could have ever imagined. So yeah, I encourage everyone, if you're in a place where you feel like you can't succeed or you feel like you can't, thrive or anything like that, just to get aligned with your spiritual, Father, which is God, get it aligned in that way and he will order your steps.
Yes, I love that. So make sure that you are aligned spiritually, and that is going to help propel you forward. That is going to help you step into your purpose. One thing that I always say is that, we all have a purpose in the pain that we're experiencing, but the thing is, it's up to us to figure out what that purpose is. Nobody is going to hand it to you and just lay it out with a beautiful blueprint. You have to be willing to go out there and search for your purpose, right?
Absolutely.
So how would you say that you were able to identify what your purpose was?
Well, when I first moved to Atlanta, I got my dream job doing like public relations for Entertainment Magazine. And then I was laid off from that. And so, instead of me saying, oh, I'm laid off of my dream job, what am I going to do? I said, I'm going to start my own magazine. And so that, right. Like, okay, you laid me off. I'm going to start my own magazine. And so I started my own magazine, and then it's like just doors started to open left and right. And from that, I ended up, covering the BET Music Awards. I was invited to the MTV VMAs to do red carpet interviews from a little small town girl moving to Atlanta, didn't know anyone, but just made a decision to try something. And I think we have to be willing to try something. And, if you do fail, just fail forward and try something else. So that was my first business. And after a while, I transitioned into another business. So that was the first business was, a magazine. And that's how I got my, entrepreneurial bug, like, really learning how empowering it is to work for yourself, and that's where that started. So
yes. That is awesome. I was actually going to ask you how you got into public relations, but you just answered that. You got fired from one job and you said, I'm going to do my own thing.
And actually, specifically with the PR agency, one of my guy friends from college was managing a singer that was on American Idol. And he was like, really, didn't you major in like public relations or something like that? And I'm like, yeah, I did. He was like, well, can you help me with my artist? And I'm like, sure. And so, even though I really didn't have much public relations experience at that point, I jumped into it with his client. And from that, I was able to like get him on BET and get him in Billboard magazine and on USA Today and People magazine. So, I always encourage people to definitely take advantage of opportunities that come your way and never feel like you're ill-equipped for an opportunity. I've heard of people actually turning things down because they don't feel like they're equipped. But I say, take the opportunity and get equipped as you go. And that's one thing that helped me, get into public relations.
Yes. I don't know if y'all are catching that, but make sure you leave your comments down below. Post your questions for Miss Lillie Mae, and she may answer them live later on in the show. But if y'all didn't catch that, you have to just go for it. Stop thinking like, oh, I don't have enough accolades or enough education to do this. I don't have enough experience. Jump in and learn as you go. Stop letting the need to be perfect hold you back from what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
So what would you say were some limiting beliefs, those internal battles that you maybe had to overcome?
Yeah, so early on, particularly when I started my PR agency, I thought that you had to look a certain way, dress a certain way, and talk a certain way to be successful, because I was looking at my predecessors, like the ladies that were doing very well in PR in Atlanta. And I'm like, okay, so they talk like this, so I need to kind of tone Lillie down, because Lillie is rambunctious, Lillie needs to tone it down. They dress this way. So, okay, Lillie needs to put on a business suit. And what I learned was, God makes us each individuals and unique. And those things that make you unique, you need to fully embrace it. You don't have to look or act or talk like anyone else or dress like anyone else. You can be all of who God has created you to be and still be successful. So it's like, once I realized that I still could attract PR clients, even though I'm a little outgoing and colorful and fun and silly and all of those things, it was like, oh, I don't have to be anyone but Lillie, and I can still attract clients because they like my energy. It's just like, with church and ministers, there's a different minister for different congregations for a reason. People are attracted to different, facets of a person. So that was a self-limiting belief I had to overcome, was that I needed to be like someone else to be successful. It's like, no, you can be your full, multifaceted self and still be successful in whatever it is that you're passionate about.
Yes, that is so true. And we are completely aligned there, because one of the things that I teach about in my first class life coaching programs is that you have to be confident in who you are, flaws and all, because you were made in the perfect image, and like, you are you for a reason. You have your own purpose. Even if your hair is out of place, even if you have a scar on your arm, or you've been through some traumatic experience, every single piece of you is for a reason. But again, it's up to you to figure out what that reason is. So it's important that we embrace who we are. Plus, it gets exhausting when we're trying to be other people.
It's not fun. It's not fun at all trying to, tone yourself down or be anything other than yourself. So I encourage everyone to be free, be you, and you will attract the tribe that you're meant to serve.
Yes. So I am eager to find out a little bit more about what you are sipping on. So it is that time of the show where, for everybody watching, make sure you grab your drinks, post in the comments below what it is that you're drinking on, because it is officially time to find out.
What's in your cup?
I love that. That's so cool.
Yes, Miss Lillie Mae, please tell us what is in your cup.
So it's nothing super exciting, and I feel like someone is going to totally judge me, but I buy canisters of McDonald's coffee, and that's what this is, with a little almond milk and agave.
Okay, so I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't know like what's in the store, but my husband likes to drink coffee. And so sometimes if I'm traveling somewhere, I'll try to see like, oh, I hope this is exotic because I'm gonna bring it back. And I'm just like, fingers crossed, like I hope he can't get this at Walmart somewhere. But they have McDonald's, like, where do you buy that? A canister of McDonald's coffee?
Right. You can get it at any grocery store, Publix or Walmart or anywhere. It's like a big canister. They have different flavors. So I like the breakfast blend, which is like a lighter roast. And then I just put my almond milk and my agave. And so that's my drink of choice.
You probably can save a lot of money versus like going to the drive-through at McDonald's all the time too, huh?
Correct.
McDonald's, you need to give Miss Lillie Mae an endorsement deal for your coffee, okay? Cut the check.
Exactly.
So show us your cup. Put it up to the camera.
Sure.
Yes.
Let's see. Is there anything on it? I think it says South Carolina. Okay. Yeah. I try to get coffee mugs from every place that I visit. So I have a lot of coffee mugs that just have like the different, states and cities that I visit.
Nice. So my cup today is nice and plain. It's just a red cup. Not the red Solo cup, a red plastic cup. And you'll see all my little frosted edges around here because on the inside, I did have a little party in my cup, hence my plain cup. I came across a recipe. Somebody had shared it on social media and I was like, ooh, that looks good. And it was like Malibu strawberry rum and I think it was like another pink lemonade type of vodka or something like that. But it was like 2 different strawberry pink lemonade type things and some frozen pink lemonade, like juice mix or something like that.
That sounds good.
Yeah. And I took a screenshot of that and I was like, I'm gonna make that. And so that's what I made. Of course, I had to add my own little twist to it. So I added some extra ingredients like some sherbet and things like that. So that's what's in my cup.
Way more exciting than my cup, I must say.
Yes, well, we don't judge. We love it all. You know, sometimes I might have a water. I haven't yet, but one episode, you'll catch me with a water or some tea or something. I had my daughter's strawberry lemonade on the past episode, this past day, in her, because she has her own business. And yeah. So let's get back into it. I know that you were on Netflix recently.
I was.
Would you like to share and talk about that? What show were you on?
Sure. I was on Love is Blind, which ended up being like a worldwide of a phenom show, crazy enough. So yeah, I was on Love is Blind, episode 1. So if you blinked, you definitely missed me. On there for a quick second. That was the show that I was on. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so I definitely watched and I was cheering and shouting every time I saw you on the screen. I was like, go Lillie Mae. So how was that experience for you?
It was a lot of fun. Honestly, you know, for me, it felt like a adult sleepover because there was like 14 ladies and, you know, we were, you know, just having a good old time. We were, you know, playing games and had girl talk. We didn't have like our cell phones or television or laptops. So we were really just having a good old fashioned girl sleepover. a lot of fun.
So how were the guys on there?
Yeah, the guys were cool. You know, we didn't get to see them, you know, because it was a Love is Blind, you know, literally blind dating show. So the guys were cool. They were fun, you know, to chat with and so forth. But they were just as cool as the women. It was really a cool cast of people. And, you know, to be a part of like a revolutionary show that was the number 1 on Netflix and around the world, it's just insane, actually. It's really unbelievable. Even if I go on Netflix now and I see it, I'm like, what world is this? I'm on Netflix. So yeah, the guys were really cool and fun to chat with. It was overall a once in a lifetime experience that I'm really glad I got to be a part of.
Nice. For those of you that may have been living under a rock, was that earlier this year or last year?
It was March. It came out.
Okay.
So actually, Valentine's Day weekend is when it came out.
Gotcha. So this year, my time's been all kinds of crazy since COVID hit. So earlier this year, if you were living under a rock, there was nothing else to do when we were all quarantined. And just in case you aren't familiar, Love is Blind is they literally had the guys and the girls on opposite sides and they talked to each other through a wall or a pod or something like that. And they went on like mini blind dates to find true love. So I heard you throw in there that it was just the first episode. And what would you say as far as your love measurement? How did that go for you?
Yeah, for me, it's just all of the guys felt like old friends. So, zero of a love connection.
They were all in the friend zone, y'all.
Yes, 14 friend zones. For sure. No doubt about it. 14 friend zones. But it was really fun just talking. You know, I'm a chatty patty, so it was just fun, you know, to really take a break from work, to take a break from like real life and just spend time just getting to know people and just talking and just having fun. It was really fun. It was no love connection here, but I'm excited to see, you know, some of my castmates that actually got married on the show. So that was so much fun for me to see. Like, I was so happy for them and I'm still rooting for them that got married. Nice.
What an amazing experience. So I know that you were already kind of in the spotlight role, an influencer and working on celebrities and things like that. So would you say like was there any changes in your life after being on Netflix?
Not at all. Zero changes. Yeah, no changes at all. The only thing that changed was, a couple of people, calling like, oh, I'm so excited to see you. Family members, oh, I'm so excited to see you. But that's it. Like you said, I kind of had already built my brand prior to the show, and I had a very small appearance on it. So like I said, if you blinked, you probably missed me. But yeah, it really, for me, it was just more of a life experience, but it really didn't impact anything either way. It was just a fun life experience.
Nice. So for all of the fellas that may be watching right now, listen, I'm sure they are wondering, if she didn't have love on Love is Blind, then Miss Lillie Mae, are you single?
I am single. Yes, Miss Lillie Mae is definitely single.
So y'all shoot y'all shot. What do you look for in a significant other?
Oh, wow. Didn't know the interview was going here, but hey, let's roll with it. I'm with it. Yeah, I think women, for the most part, tend to all be looking for the same thing, or, I would assume, I'm from the South, so I'm definitely looking for like a Southern gentleman, someone that has a strong relationship with God, someone that's ambitious like me, someone that's fun like me, that just wants to, enjoy life together. I think, partnerships and relationships, I think it should be easy, but I think there should be some purpose involved. Like, I think when you come together in a partnership, it should be at some way to further impact, the world, further impact the community, for the glory of God, not to get too religious. But so, yeah, I mean, I think that was a lot, but that's kind of, what I'm looking for. Whatever God has ordained for me, that's what I'm waiting on. I won't even say looking for, because the man is supposed to find the woman. So.
Okay.
Just sitting pretty.
Yes. And I love that you are letting God lead him to you, because I feel like, if it's okay to just get in relationships a little bit, not specifically yours, I feel like there are a lot of people out there, they're constantly searching. And, oh, this one didn't work, let me try this one. And they're like hopping from relationship. It's like, you need to just calm it down a second and find out who you are. Because if you're not fully whole, then no matter what relationship you get into, it's not going to work.
I agree 100%. Like, I think that was definitely a big part of my single journey was, just taking some time to get really deep into my spiritual life, to really, focus on me. And I think, the more that you focus on being the best you, then the more likely you are to attract what it is that you desire. So, when it comes to health and fitness, your spiritual life, your profession, like really making sure that all of those things are on the up and up, and I think there's nothing wrong with making yourself available. Like, I mean, we're in quarantine now. So it's like, if you're single, you probably need to be on a dating app, because it's not likely that he's just going to knock on your door. So I think it's definitely okay to make yourself available, but just be open to the process. And like you said, not really, be rushing or really be thirsty or seeking, but just make yourself available and then see what comes your way and manage it accordingly. So you're totally right as far as really getting aligned with yourself and who you are, and just becoming the best version of you while you're single. That's what this time is for. So absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Great advice from the Miss Lillie Mae herself. So let's kind of segue that back into business now. Have you had a time in your career where you were in a relationship and you were running your business? And if so, how did you balance the two of them? Because I know that there are some people out there, it's like whenever they get in a relationship, everything else kind of falls by the wayside, and then they get unfulfilled there. And then they like can't figure out that balance between going after their career or their business and having a relationship.
Yeah, I definitely I had a pretty long-term relationship, right? Really in the beginning of me becoming an entrepreneur. So I was fortunate enough to have a person that was extremely supportive of me being an entrepreneur and pursuing my passion. So I think that's a first. You definitely, if you're on the entrepreneurial journey, you have to be with someone that supports that. And then, you know, like you said, the second part is balance. You know, I really enjoyed my partner while we were together. So we would have date nights and go to movies and things like that. I wasn't overly consumed with my business. You know, it was like a healthy balance where, you know, I spend time with my partner, but I also spend time on my business. I've never been one of those girls who just her whole goal in life was to get married. That's never been me, where it's like the highlight of my life is marriage. So I've always been an ambitious person. And that's, you know, whether I'm with someone or not, I'm always going to pursue my passion and have ambitions. That's just who I am. And so, you know, I was able to really, I think, balance it pretty well by making time for my partner and, you know, not making my business everything, but not making partnership everything, just having a healthy balance, you know, spending equal time on my business as with my partner. For example, I worked from home. And so, you know, I think my partner would get off of work at 5 o'clock. So I would stop working at 4 and begin cooking, you know, and some people be like, no, make your own food. I got to finish this project. But it's like, no, business stops at 4 so that I can cook for my partner. You know what I mean? So I think women that are balancing both need to have boundaries, you know, with their business. You need to have certain hours where clients cannot text you. You know, they cannot text you at night. They cannot text you at, you know, the weekend. Like, just set boundaries so that you can have a healthy balance is what I would suggest to anyone that's balancing both right now.
Definitely boundaries. And practicing boundaries is a part of maintaining your self-care because when people overstep their boundaries, it's usually at your expense.
Absolutely. You're 100% right. And early on in my entrepreneurial journey, I was so excited earlier to be an entrepreneur that I, you know, at first didn't have those boundaries. And then I would find myself being annoyed that a client texts me at 9. Well, I shouldn't be annoyed because I should set a boundary that says at 5 o'clock, just like a regular business, you know, stops at 5, I stop at 5. And so, you know, as entrepreneurs, we have to treat ourselves like, you know, a business that's on the cover of Forbes by having systems in place and having certain boundaries that people have to respect. So definitely it's important, especially if you're in a relationship. You definitely.
Yes. That is awesome. Hopefully you guys are taking notes, getting your life together, because she's giving you business tips and relationship tips and all in between. Make sure you post your questions down below. Leave your comments. This is a conversation and you are a part of it. So talk with us. Comment down below. Share this out because you never know who needs to know how to balance some things in their life. So what would you say that you are passionate about these days?
These days, I'm passionate about not losing my mind in quarantine. I am totally an extrovert. So it's like, no, I'm just kidding. Well, these days, I think my passions are the same, you know, just finding ways to serve as many women as possible in the space of helping them thrive as entrepreneurs. So, you know, things have pivoted to where I can't host in-person events. So, you know, I'm seeking out opportunities like this that you provided for me to talk to as many women as possible, you know, hosting conferences and virtual events and things like that. I'm coming up with unique programs to help women continue to earn money online because I know that that has been an issue for a lot of entrepreneurs is how to continue making money during this uncertain season. So, you know, I'm still trying to come up with unique programs to help facilitate that. So, you know, yeah, my passions are pretty much the same. I just think my creative wheels have had to, you know, speed up a bit to come up with unique ways to still serve women around the world. So like, this week I did a conference with 2 ladies in London and they were speaking about, you know, confidence and identity. And so I was so excited because I'm like, wow, it's such a blessing that even in the midst of a pandemic, I can connect with someone across the country, around the world, you know what I'm saying? And then we collectively reach different pockets of women to empower them to, you know, still pursue their purpose and still be confident. Whoa. Drop myself and almost still be confident that, you know, there is a reason for you being here. God has an intention on your life, no matter what's going on in the outside world. And so, you know, I'm really also passionate these days, a little bit more on the spiritual side to help people conquer anxiety, fears, and depression, because I feel like that's more rampant now. And so I like have a ebook coming out the Glambitious Guide to Conquering Anxiety, Fear, and Depression, where I have 20 women that'll each share tips for conquering that, because I think right now people are experiencing that more than ever. So yeah, you know, my passions are pretty much the same, but maybe a little more emphasis on the spiritual part and the like holistic wellness part as well, because I think we all need to really be honed in on that so that we can maintain our sanity during this uncertain time.
Yes, yes, because I know in the virtual green room, you said that you have been practicing a vegan diet here recently, right?
Exactly.
So what made you want to get into trying out veganism, and how's it been going? Tell the people.
Yeah, so honestly, it's kind of twofold. One was seeing myself on Netflix looking a little fluffy. And I was like, oh my God. I didn't know I was looking fluffy like that. So that was one. And then just really the desire to be as healthy as possible. And I feel like that was like the healthier journey was to eliminate meat, because usually the quality of meat that is available is usually, you know, poor quality of meat. And so, and it takes a long time to digest meat. And so there's so many different reasons why, you know, we should be limiting meat. So I said, okay, let me just jump into being vegan. I think I started it on May 8th. And it started out as a 3-week challenge, because I had a friend that was doing a 3-week challenge. And I was like, okay, I can get into it with you. And then I just continued it after that 3 weeks. And so, you know, I will allow myself to have crab legs maybe once a month. But other than that, you know, I'm really sticking to it and preparing most of my meals and just trying to be healthier, because I feel like when you're healthier, you feel better. And when you feel better, you can create more, you know, you can do more, you can operate, you know, at a higher frequency. So I'm also trying to work out more frequently as well. And I'm also getting certified to be a yoga teacher. So I'm definitely, you know, transitioning a little bit more into the holistic wellness so that I can offer that insight through the Glambitious platform as well.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And so we've mentioned COVID and quarantine a few times tonight. And so I heard you say that your creativity went up, but there are a lot of people whose creativity went down because they're feeling so overwhelmed, and like the kids are at home now. I know you don't have any children, but the kids are at home and then they're out of work and they're trying to figure everything out. So what would you say to that person? How can they tap into their creativity to pivot and navigate these times?
Yeah, that's a great question. And one thing I would say is to allow yourself to rest, because my creativity is up because I allow myself to rest. Like I really allow myself to do nothing on a lot of days. And I think, you know, we have to give ourselves more grace in this season to not be as productive as we normally are, and to allow ourselves time to meditate, time to work out, you know, time to just lay in the bed an extra hour if necessary. I think whatever it takes to rest in this season is what you need to be doing, getting as much rest as possible so that when you're rested, then your creative wheels get to turning. Because, you know, if you're trying to, you know, balance, you know, husband, kids, social media, and then all of the news, and, you know, we're really hearing so much bad news, so much, it's a lot to be balancing. Then where is there room to be creative? There is no room to be creative. So you have to allow yourself time to rest as much as possible, you know, give yourself grace to not be, you know, productive every day. So even though my creativity is up, it doesn't mean that Lillie is in the lab from sundown, you know, from sun up to sundown, creating. No, it means that I'm taking inspired action, which means I'm only doing something when I feel inspired to do it. I'm not pressuring myself to meet certain standards. And social media can make you feel pressured in this season. I think I saw a meme that said, you know, if you don't come out of this pandemic with a business or 6 figures, then, you know, you missed the mark. I don't agree with that at all. You know, no, there is no tool, no measurement tool here of how to be successful during this season. To me, I think you need to be making sure you're getting your rest, making sure you're getting a sense of peace. And then once you get that, your creativity will begin to flow again. Another thing I encourage is journaling. So, you know, just writing out your thoughts can sometimes spark, you know, an idea. Like for me, I journal. And sometimes from journaling, I'm like, oh, you know, it would be great to create this collaborative ebook that teaches women XYZ, you know? So I guess my concrete tips for women that maybe feel not productive is give yourself some grace, get plenty of rest and allow yourself, time to really embrace a sense of peace, and then just start writing. And I'm sure some ideas will come about that you feel inspired to move forward on.
Yes. And I agree. I saw that meme floating around 50,000 times and I was like, y'all killing me. And so I know on my platform, I was saying like, if that is what you're driven to do, then by all means do that. But for some of you, it's this time is telling you to rest and be still because you're always on the go and busy. Like this is your time to do nothing. Mm-hmm. For some others of you, that might be your time to boost things up and to build, but that's not for everyone. And only you can figure out like what it is that you are to be doing, whether it's building or resting. But that comes in knowing, like tapping into your spirit and understanding like, okay, what am I being led to do? And that's what's going to really push you forward as far as, all right, I'm going to be well rested on the other side of this, or I'm going to have a whole bunch of stuff that I built, or even if it's just one thing that you built on the other side of it, but tapping into that spirituality and your inner self and just being still to listen and figure out, okay, which path am I going to take? Which path do I need to take? And am I not forcing or allowing social media to force up on me?
Absolutely. I think it's so easy to, use other people as your measuring stick, especially with social media. And in this particular season, you cannot do that. Like you said, it has to be inner work, inner guidance. That's why I said I only take inspired action. Like I don't move until I feel inspired internally to do so. I'm not looking on Instagram saying, oh, she's doing that, let me do that. Absolutely not. Lillie is doing what, Lillie feels inspired to do. And I think we have to, like you said, just really tap in. And for me, that includes a lot of prayer. I think we all need to be praying a little bit more this season than we were prior, listening to sermons and motivational podcasts and things like that. And just relaxing sometimes, just, listening to a meditation app, whatever. But I think we definitely need to find time to tap and tune in to ourselves, into our spirituality, and you will get ideas and you will be inspired to take action eventually.
Yes. And I always say comparison is the enemy of joy. Mm-hmm. You'll never be happy when you're trying to live up to other people and always keep up with the Joneses. Mm-hmm. So I think that this is the perfect time for us. And well, actually not for us, for Miss Lillie Mae, this way, for Miss Lillie Mae to take her shot.
30-second hot shot. Answer the question in 30 seconds or less, or take your shot.
Yes, so let me get my timer ready. Pull my timer. 30 seconds, starting on 30 seconds. So I am going to ask you questions that were submitted via one of those platforms or DM'd me or wherever, and you have 30 seconds to try and answer the question. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I won't start the time until after I finish the question, give you a little breath, and then I'll hit the button. So the first question is, what advice do you have to becoming an influencer? Go.
I would say to really start to align yourself with other influencers. So find ways to interview other influencers, find ways to be aligned with them or speak on panels with influencers. That's the quickest way. When people start to see you aligned with influencers, they begin to interpret you as an influencer. So that would be the quick answer. I have much more to say about it, but I'm sticking to 30 seconds.
You did. You beat the 30 seconds with 5 seconds to spare. Let me restart that. Oh, cancel. Okay, there we go. So feel free to just elaborate just a little bit more. I mean, I'm the host, so I can sidebar the rules a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, so to elaborate, you definitely want to make sure that your social media pages have a certain look. So whoever your favorite influencer is, look at the quality of their photos, look at the nature of their posts, how they schedule their posts, the color codes, you need to have a theme. So there's a certain look that influencers have on social media, and you want to make sure that you have that look. And you want to build your following up by posting things that are engaging, by, getting on Instagram Live, like I said, interviewing other people so that their followers start to follow you. But ultimately, it starts with the aesthetic and then building up that following so that there are a lot of people tune into what you're doing.
Nice. And I think that might have been less than 30 seconds or like right at it as well. So the next question comes from Miss Janisa, and she says, I live in Mississippi and I feel that I've outgrown my town and area. How do you begin to have events internationally and out of your normal area?
Oh, that's a great question. I would say create an email list in the city that you want to have an event in. So research lawyers that are women in that area, real estate agents that are women, accountants, and build an email list so that you can invite them to your event in the new city. Also go on meetup.com and start a meetup in the city that you want to travel to so that you can have a built-in network of people to attend your event.
Okay. Oh, and that one, 8 seconds is fair. You are on it. No shots for Lillie Mae. Awesome. So yes. Oh, look, there went the timer. Stop. Dismiss. So that is amazing. If you are just tuning in, we have been chatting with the amazing Lillie Mae. She is a public relations strategist and the CEO of the Glambitious brand for entrepreneurs and all kinds of things. Mm-hmm. So everybody that follows me, or if they even see me, they know that I'm all about happiness. So I definitely have to ask you this question about how do you create happiness in your life? Because happiness is intentional. It's not something that we can buy. It's not something that we can go out and search for. We have to be intentional about creating happiness in every moment. So, Miss Lillie Mae, how do you intentionally create happiness in your life?
Yeah, so that's a great question, especially for now that we're in quarantine, because generally the things that make us happy, might include things outside of the home. So now it's, a unique space to be in where you have to find your, joy and happiness inside of the four walls. So for me, it's about following my joy. So what makes me happy? FaceTime with my mom and my sister, FaceTime with some of my good friends and their kids and, things like that. So I make sure that I do those FaceTimes every day. Also working out, even though I don't like working out, I feel good afterwards. So it's like, I push myself to work out because I know afterwards I'm going to feel good about it, Also in these times, cooking makes me happy. It's very therapeutic for me to cook these days. So I'm always looking up recipes and things like that to, cook up something unique and then share it on social media. And it's funny, at the beginning of the pandemic, I did a lot of Instagram lives with my friends where we would just be having karaoke nights and we would be singing songs back and forth. So, anything that, really puts me in a good mood, I'm doing it in this season. And I'm, like you said, being intentional about it, making sure that not one day goes by where I haven't done something that brings me joy. Life can go by very quickly. A day can go by very quickly. So you have to build it into your day, just something frivolous. Like if I feel my mood going down, I cut on soca music through my speakers and I dance around the house, realized like I wouldn't be traveling to the beach anytime soon. So I put on a bikini and I laid on the balcony. Okay? So whatever it is that makes me happy, I'm game to do it in this season. And I'm trying to, make every day a day that incorporates at least a few moments of joy. Did that answer your question?
Yes. That is exactly, and that looks different for everybody. That goes back to not comparing yourself to other people, because what happiness is for you is different for somebody else. Mm-hmm. And I love that you said that you allow yourself to just be silly and do what you want when you want, right?
Right.
Because sometimes we feel like, oh my gosh, I got to be so serious and fuddy-duddy and I can't laugh at that joke, or, and we're boring.
I think it's important to tap into the inner child. Like when we're kids, we have imaginations, we're free, we say anything, we laugh heartily, we don't feel any restraints. And something about, life sometimes, makes that inner child disappear. And I'm all about being in tune with my inner child. So I am a silly Billy. Like I am usually laughing at the top of my lungs on the phone with friends and just really letting myself be free. And I think as adults, we definitely need to let ourselves be free. Cut up. If you have kids, roll around the floor with them. Like look at your kids and how happy and free they are innately and tap into that, because kids, they haven't figured out like and we need to just, get more childlike and just be free.
Yes.
And silly. So, yeah.
Yes, that is amazing. So thank you for coming onto the Happy Hour show. You have just dropped all kinds of gems, and make sure you catch the replay if you are just tuning in so that you can catch all the gems that she dropped. And so tell us, what do you have going on? Because I know you said that you were creating some new programs, that you just launched some new things. And I know that you have a special discount for the viewers.
I do. So my website is theglamceo.com. That's theglamceo.com. And so, you can get 35% off by entering the coupon code live for like the next 24 hours. And that's off anything. I have ebooks, webinars that teach you how to start a business or teach you how to advance in your business. There's an opportunity to co-host a webinar with me, and then you can sell your webinar and keep all of the profit. I have an ebook resale program where you could take some of my books and sell them and keep all of the profit. I have a ton of opportunities for women to make more money and get more visibility in their business, whether you just started your business yesterday or you've been doing it for 10 years. So just visit my site and take the time to, tinker around, because it's really, I created it like a one-stop shop for women entrepreneurs. So if you've always dreamed of being on a magazine cover, I have a magazine cover that you can be on. If you want to interview on my podcast, I have a podcast. Whatever it is that you're looking for to advance your business, whether it's speaking opportunities, writing opportunities, because I have books that you can write with me. It's just a ton of opportunities for the entrepreneurial minded woman available on theglamceo.com. So please visit my site and share it with your friends. I challenge any viewer, text my website to 5 friends. Okay. Like let's share the wealth. 5 friends.
Yes. You guys see it right there on the screen, theglamceo.com. And if you are watching this, make sure you hurry. We reward action takers. So don't be waiting till next week, because it's going to say invalid code. Okay. Hurry over to theglamceo.com and put in the discount code live to get 35% off. And listen, y'all know my VIPs get a little happy hour specials, okay? So if you are on the VIP list, you are going to get 55% off, and be looking for that email in the morning, because it'll have your special discount code so that you can get 55% off instead of 35% off. And if you are not on the special VIP list, you see the link right down at the very bottom there. Go to bit.ly/happy updates to join the exclusive VIP list, where you will get updates on future episodes, special airings, and you get the happy hour specials like the VIPs get, okay? Now, one last thing, because I heard you mention karaoke, and you just confirmed what I've been playing around with in my head, and I was actually thinking about it earlier today, and then I got sidetracked before I took the next step on it as far as creating a flyer and all that stuff with my VA. And so I am planning a special happy hour episode of karaoke.
Oh, I love it. Yay.
So, if you want to be a contestant on the happy hour karaoke special.
Oh, absolutely. I have a whole karaoke name. It's Leonce.
Okay.
So I have a karaoke microphone. Like I'm a whole experience. So yes, I am down.
I will have to send you the details on that. I've got to secure down which date I want to have it, whenever I'm available, and it's going to be awesome. So I was thinking like there will be 10 contestants, and you can put on a full-on performance with songs, dance, choreo, all that stuff.
I love it. I'm down.
So, guys, it has been another amazing episode of the Happy Hour Show with Lindsey Vertner and my phenomenal guest, the wonderful Lillie Mae. Make sure that you follow her on social media. You can catch her on Instagram at GlamViciousIam and I am Lillie Mae. Go to theglamceo.com where you can use your special discount code that was put that back on the screen for you there. Make sure you share this out with your friends, and I will see you on Tuesday, our normal time at 9 p.m. Eastern, where I will be chatting with another special guest. And with that, I bid you guys farewell.